Back in 1993, I was working in the restaurants as a supervisor, and Sheriff Lane Cribb came up to me in 94, getting reserve deputies to work. So I was a reserve deputy from 94 until 96, the top of 96. Then he came back to McDonald's again and asked me if I would work for him. And not knowing what he was at the time, I agreed and said yes, I would. And came over to the office and didn't know he was the sheriff, and he hired me right on the spot, and that was 1996. Back in the day when I was with reserve deputies, we helped out with games. We did ride-alongs to get to learn more about becoming a sheriff. We mainly help assist the deputies. When I started in 1996, it was me, Deputy Paul Glover, and Major T.L. Staub. We came out the academy about the same time. And during that time back then, we only had one vehicle. We had to keep switching off vehicles. As soon as I get out the vehicle, Deputy Glover would get in the vehicle. And as soon as Deputy Glover get in the vehicle, shift would be changed. It'd be Major Staub get into the vehicle. Then we had one handheld radio we had to carry around. And sometime, according to what's going on that night, one man would kill the radio that night, so the other deputy wouldn't even have a chance to get it until it's charged up. We was FTO'd by the supervisors on the shift, which my FTO was Lieutenant Matthew Grayson. Same but the strictest guy that you can be with, but fair. Riding along with him, it wasn't rough, but he kept us focused, letting us know what to do and what not to do during that time. The only thing we would laugh at is myself, Deputy Glover, and with Sergeant Armstrong at the time. When we rode with Lieutenant Grayson, we couldn't move his seat. We couldn't adjust his car seat at the time. Pull it up, pull it back. We just had to let it stay like it is. And we couldn't touch the radio because that was his radio. So it's just a lot of fun in training at that time. And I stayed with him for a good while during my training. Yes. Community policing. After community policing, I went back to the courthouse at the time, which was on Scriven Street, right back under Lieutenant Matthew Grayson. And from there, I went back into community policing, back into the new Judicial Center, where I worked until I became a transport officer. And during transport, I worked probably a good 3 to 5 years in transport before I became the new SRO for Carvers Bay High School. Being an SRO, it was a challenge, but I loved it because at the time, it's just like you're talking to your own kids. Most of the kids got problems that they might can't come to their parents or anything. You got the SRO, the guidance counselor, that we can kind of assist in that. But if it gets beyond that, we call the parents to let them know just what we talk about. We never talk about anything that would jeopardize what the parents say to the student. The main thing I like about being an SRO is I meet a lot of friendly kids. Kids who need guidance. Some kids don't. Some just want to talk and just explore other stuff, want to know what is my job, because they want to get into it one day. Their parents called and talked to me and letting me know that thank you for talking to my son or daughter about this incident, because I was having a hard time talking to them. But when they came from the law enforcement side of it, they understood it more. Work with the Georgetown County Sheriff Office. The most important part I love is meeting people and helping them. Our job is to protect and serve, but sometimes we go beyond the scope and help them beyond that. And the community really loves that. And we got some good guys I work with. I wouldn't trade them for nothing. During my 27 years of being at law enforcement, I learned a whole lot. I learned a lot about people, families, students, administration, and sometimes it seems like it brings a burden on you, but I learned one thing by going to church. A song said, "The battle is not yours, it belongs to the Lord." So I let him guide my footstep every day, and that's something Lieutenant Grayson instilled in me back then. Every time before I get in the car, I say a prayer. Give me some knowledge and understanding to help somebody. I help somebody's child to do what's right. But my main thing, I just know the battle is not mine. It belongs to the Lord. Yes.